Roger in Vancouver, Washington. Hey, Roger, what's up?
Hello, Tom. Thank you very much for taking my call. I called today for a couple of reasons. I have an observation about your tagline that you always end your program with. I liked the tag you're it. Well, the last 6 months, I've just really given myself to this WAMED program, and you were very kind to give us some plugs on your program.
That was the Washington move to amend, the Washington effort to get a ballot measure that would say that the people of the state of Washington wanted the Washington to be a participant in amending the Constitution to say money's not speech and corporations are not people.
Right. We want to cut the amount of money that John Boehner gets from his corporate pals.
There you go.
Anyway, one thing I wanted to comment on was the personal benefit that I got from my commitment. I'm fully retired. I'm one of those few lucky people that have been able to do that. I'm 69, and I had the time, and so I gave myself completely to it. And the thing I want to point out is the personal benefits. There's a couple. One is the people that I was able to come into contact with. When you give yourself to something like this, you find people who are of like mind, who commit themselves to the effort, and it's been a real blessing, if you want to call it that, to come into contact with people. But on a personal level, because I got a lot of signatures, I stood in front of stores an awful lot and got to interact with a large number of people, and I got to see the disconnect that people have with issues that are really quite important. And
for example,
well, I had a line that I would use to try and engage people when I was standing in front of the store. I would ask them if they want to help get the influence of big money out of political campaigns. Well, the response was anything from just, I might as well have been a post, to some people would engage and argue a little bit. But most people just had vacuous little responses like, I'll think about it, and they would refuse to take the literature that I offered them, or they would say that not right now, or maybe later, or just totally disengaged. And because of that experience, and I'd have to ask, at least 20 people probably to get a signature. And I got over 2,400 signatures in the course of the effort. Well, I had a lot of time to give to it. There were people who were much more effective than I was in our local community, but I discovered within myself my inner stoic, if you will, and also maybe a little bit of Zen there too, because in front of these stores I could see the trees, and I thought, I said to the trees, the life force that is in the trees, bear witness to the fact that some of us are trying to do something that will save the biosphere that we all need to survive. And that leads me to an observation and a question. I'm not sure we have time. I've looked at the Arctic News blog spot that you put me onto quite some time ago, and I've been following it with some alarm. Yeah. Is anybody working on a plan and pulling together the resources to try and help at least a fragment of humanity get through the keyhole, the evolutionary keyhole that we're going to have to get through if we don't open the door to a better future with reducing carbon emissions? That's going to require that we create microenvironments where we can grow food. We have to maintain the technologies that will help us get through probably several hundred years of extremely hostile environment. And it's going to require that we maintain the technologies to do that and that we have a good plan that could be executed. Do you know of anybody who's doing that?
I don't. We had Guy McPherson on this program, who's a climate scientist out of the University of Arizona, and he had actually quit his job and with a group of people, if I'm remembering this correctly, I don't want to misrepresent Guy, but my recollection is that they bought some land in Arizona and they were going to basically create a community like this that might be able to make it through, and that it didn't ultimately work out. I would be astounded if there were not a few billionaires doing something like this, but they would be the last ones to advertise it, to let us know about it.
That's my concern too. I would be willing to give all of my time as a volunteer. And I don't have a lot of financial resources, but enough to get by. But I would certainly dedicate.
I think the big work right now, Roger, is waking people up to the damn situation, and that's why we did this video, Last Hours, that's over at lasthours.org. We're recutting it right now. Leonardo DiCaprio's putting a voice on it, his own voice on it. We've got a second one coming out about carbon tax, proposing carbon taxes all around the world. We just put that one in the can earlier this week. I think we're going to be releasing both of these at the end of this week, maybe next week, hopefully. And we're not the only ones. I mean, there's all kinds of great groups out there, from 350.org to NRDC to, there's just no shortage of them. So if you can find a local one that's doing some good work, you might want to hook up with them. Roger, we're out of time, but thank you for sharing an inspiring story with us. And great to hear from you. Thank you, Roger.